Hey everybody, how's it going? This one was pretty exciting for me. It took a little bit of practice, but I eventually got it to work for me. It's the apple Frangipane Tart. Now, this one was requested by my wife, who saw it on Great British Bake Off, and decided, you know what? You can do that for me, can't you? Well, after a little practice, I did. So let me know what y'all think about the recipe and try it for yourself. See if you can do it. Now, I wasn't able to do it in like the hour time limit that they get, but it came out all right nonetheless. As always, I appreciate y'all watching. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all next time.
All right, here we go. Ingredients up on the board, and it's time to rock and roll. First thing you're going to do, and you're going to hear this a couple of times, is you're going to cream your butter and sugar together and get them nice and aerated for these next steps. If you don't get enough air into this mixture, your crust is going to end up dense and claggy, and nobody wants a dense crust. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and add your egg yolks and your vanilla. Mix those up well and make sure that everything kind of gets that mixture in. So if you scrape the bowl and you see there's still unmixed components, go ahead and give it one more cycle through. You don't want any of these ingredients to be just left out. Like I said, for this next step, scrape the bowl and make sure everything is equally mixed. You don't want to leave any goodness behind on the side of this bowl, believe me. And finally, as far as the mixing goes, you're going to add your flour and your salt and mix it all together until the dough forms up. Initially, it's probably going to look pebbly, but eventually it's going to get that nice smooth texture and it's all going to clump together. Once that's all mixed up, you're going to go ahead and dump that out and roll and knead this into a nice flat disc, making sure that the crust is even throughout whatever you're using to bake it in. You don't want some parts of your crust being thicker while others are thinner, because then it's not going to bake well. Now you're going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator and let it firm up before the next time you use it. These look like a lot of fancy ingredients for your filling, but I promise you things are going to work out just well. Now the first thing you're going to do is check on your crust and make sure that it is firm. Then you're going to poke holes in the bottom and bake this thing and make sure everything comes out nice and crispy. And for the second time during this recipe, you're going to cream your butter and your sugar together and make sure it's nice, light, and airy. Once you get the desired texture, you're going to go ahead and throw in more egg. Stop me if you've heard this one before. And make sure that everything is mixed well on a medium speed. This last bit is easy. All you do is take whatever's left, pour it into your mixing bowl, and mix it all together. You want to make sure that it's nice and smooth, and make sure that everything is mixed up well. So if you have to stop, scrape down the sides of your bowl, scrape the bottom of the bowl, please do. You don't want to miss out any of this goodness. Once everything is nice and mixed up, you're going to go ahead and dump it into your pie crust, and you're going to make sure that everything is nice and level. Again, you don't want some parts thicker because it's not going to bake well, and you don't want thinner or it's going to overbake and you're going to have this burnt, nasty stuff. Nobody wants burnt. Once everything is nice and even, you're going to go ahead and take your apples, slice them up into about 1/4 inch slices, and do whatever decorative pattern you want. You can do a bloom, you can do a circle like I did, whatever floats your boat. Once everything is decorated up, you're going to go ahead and pop this bad boy into the oven at 350 for about 45 minutes or until the apples are tender. Now, depending on how many apples you put on there, it may take more, may take less. My one warning would be, make sure your apples are dry, because if you have wet apples going in this thing, you're going to end up with a soggy bottom, and nobody likes soggy bottoms. Once the 45 minutes are up, throw your broiler on and let this thing sit for 1 or 2 minutes in there just to give it some nice coloring on the top. Once the baking's all done, go ahead and pull out your apricot preserve, heat it up for about 30 seconds in the microwave. Take that last tablespoon of rum, mix it in, and slather this thing like there's no tomorrow. This apricot preserve just gives it that little bit of extra kick, that little bit of extra flavor at the end, and everything turns out swell. Now let this thing cool off until room temp, and then you're free to serve it up with a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, or just for a family night dessert. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know how it works out for you, and I will see you next time.